Welcome to another Maz Play video. This is MazMojito, and today we're going to be continuing on where we left off on Sengoku Dynasty. Now, where we last left off, I went back to my lakeside town and did a little bit of hunting, a little bit of harvesting for some more bamboo, and just went around making sure that my food levels were good and all the other levels were good for wood burning, maintenance, and everything. So here we're going to take a look at the cooking pot and just kind of look at all the different things that you can cook here. Some of the items require ingredients that can only be found either by growing on a farm, which I haven't really started yet, or going to the local town and buying the necessary ingredients. Some of the items can be found randomly throughout the world, but for the most part, parsley can be found everywhere. Gobo can be found everywhere. Rice is something that you'll have to grow on a farm. I haven't dabbled into that. But you can also buy rice from the nearby vendors at the different towns. Tea leaves, same thing. You can buy them from the vendors, but they are also hard to come by. And then, of course, ice you would get during the winter season, checking your troughs for the water that's frozen over into ice. The berries are also items that you can find either in treasure troves or just out in the world randomly. So we'll just go around here, around town, see if there's any last minute items I need to take care of. But we're going to make our way back to the town bell, which is also the fast travel marker, and open it up. And Akira is the very first town I started when I first started to play the game. So we're going to head back there and just check on the original town to see how things are going there. Now, this place pretty much has all the buildings built up. I have plenty of population here where everyone's busy working. So there's not really a whole lot to do here other than make sure they have what they need to keep harvesting and keep meeting the quotas that I put for every season as far as things they need to produce. When you first start, you pretty much are in this town at the beginning of the game, but all the buildings are burnt down, so you have to demolish all the buildings and rebuild from new. So this is the result of how my village looks now that I knocked down all the old beat up buildings, and I guess there's a backstory to it where there's some raiders came in, burnt down everything, and this town is all but abandoned, but you can rebuild it and claim it as your own. So we'll just go around here, take a look and see if there's any more resources we can get, check on our NPC buildings, and then probably head to the nearest town to see if we can pick up some supplies before we go back to the original town we started at, which is Riverside. So I'll limit my comments to if there's anything in particular I want to speak on, but for now, let's just enjoy the video, the gameplay. Okay, so one thing I don't think I really spoke on too much was the map layout. As you can see here, all the areas that are green are just basically your grasslands, the brown lines being your roads and walkways. And then you have the symbols on the map. Those symbols are watchtowers that I just built, and then you have a couple white symbols. Those are bridges that I built. And you can kind of see, you can unlock those as you play and explore the map. You'll have to construct them with special work project benches, but as you build those things, your dynasty level increases, which therefore unlocks more recipes and things that you can build and construct. So as you can see, I have town markers on there. You can change your town markers to whatever logo you want, and that's pretty much how the map is laid out. And then, of course, the other tabs will bring you to maybe your character development, your inventory, and whatnot. But just to give you an idea of the map and orient yourself to where I am playing specifically. Another thing that you'll notice as you play this game is a lot of the items that are decoration can't be interacted with, so it's easy to get tricked by that. So we're gonna make our way to the nearest town. Iwasaki and Segi are towns. That's why you have the brown and the green there. Those are not controlled by you, the player. However, the towns with the white symbols are controlled by you, the player. So we're gonna take a look around this town and look for any vendors. They usually have floating brown marks above their head as they're walking around, and you just interact with them to talk to see what they have to sell. A lot of times it's food items that they have for sale. So in this case, this guy has a lot of food items, but this is also a good opportunity to sell any excess items that you have, so you can make some money and you can turn around and use that money to buy the things that either I don't have because I don't have the farms for them or something else. And while we're here, I always like to chop down any kind of bamboo or anything that I think looks out of place. I like to just erase it just to get the supplies. And plus we're working on a fence back at our lakeside, not lakeside, but our riverside town. So it'd be good to have enough bamboo to finish the same fence design that they have here that you see me chopping next to. That's what I'm trying to build up in my town, my riverside town. So that requires a lot of bamboo. So these guys have some farms going, and this is pretty much how the farm plots will look. I haven't built one myself, but I will be working on that. So they're growing wasabi, parsley, and they have them a nice even line. There's no stilling in the game, so we're just gonna go ahead and pick up these resources, because each of the items you pick up, you can convert them into seeds, into seed bags, and then turn around and plant them yourself. But there's so many of these out in the world that I really don't need to raid these people's farm. I could just go out in the world and find the same things. Wasabi usually grows by rivers or by sources of water, and goju is usually in the forest. Same thing with parsley. You'll find that in the thicker areas of the forest. They're pretty much everywhere, along with garlic. Garlic you can spot very far away because they have white flowers on them usually. So yeah, farming and getting resources, vegetables and all that is not difficult at all in the game. It's just you got to keep your eyes open for what the different plants look like. Okay, so now that I picked all these guys' plots up, and next season they'll have a fresh plot. I mean, every time a new season turns, everything that they plot ends up coming right back in the same spot. So it's not like they're going to be missing anything. Some of these larger trees are more decoration, so you'll find that you can't chop them down. Your axe will just swing right through it if it's something that's meant for decoration. This particular town is close to my riverside town, so what I like to do, just because I like to see the town lights and stuff from my village, is clear all the trees and stuff that, as far as that block my view from my town all the way to the village. So as you can see, I'm selectively chopping trees, not so much for the resources, but just to clear a nice little path so I can go from the village back to my town and see exactly where I'm going. So you'll see me just kind of clearing the path, clearing some trees, just because I want that line of view. I will eventually come out and mine these rocks. These are just regular old stone. The bigger the bundle, the more stone you get out of it, and the stone piles shrink smaller and smaller. So that's also something I can come out and do. And the stone is great for building materials, as well as if you have it in your town inventory, it counts towards your maintenance number so that they can do upkeep for your town. So my inventory is full and it's telling me I have no more space, so we're gonna make our way back to our riverside town, which is our newest town, and we're gonna continue building up a fence line around it, some defenses, and checking to make sure we have what we need. And as I can see, the deer here have respawned, so that's also good. This gives you an idea why you need to shoot an arrow at the deer. They're very fast. I'm trying to chase this guy down with my katana. It's just, there's no way I'm going to catch up to him. So you need to pluck an arrow into him to really slow him down, to at least to a point where you can to sprint up next to him and take him down with your katana. Otherwise, you have no chance chasing him on foot. Okay, so now that we're back, we're going to drop off any supplies we have here, fill up our stores. It takes a lot to really fill up your food stores and everything else. My lumber storage fills up really fast. And as you can see, I started my fence line, but I ran out of bamboo. So that was one of the main reasons I left this town from the first point from the last video to go to my lakeside town, which was by a good batch or forest area of bamboo. So I really want to get enough bamboo so I can finish the fence line. And as you can see here, just like I said, my wood store fills up real quick. I have no space to put any more wood items, so I'm going to have to just keep these things in my inventory or convert them to something else. Okay, everything that can fit in there will be colored. The stuff that is grayed out, you can't put it in the storage because it's not the right type of item. And the logs that I have left, I'm going to go ahead and convert them to planks because planks stack, whereas the logs don't really stack. So it'll take up less room if I just turn them all into planks. One of the cool features that I do like that they introduced in the game not too long ago was the sort feature. Before, I had to manually organize and sort my inventory. It was a pain in the butt. But now that they have the sort tool, you can sort it by all kind of different categories. So we started on the bamboo fence. Now we're going to go ahead and finish wrapping the village around with the fence line. If anything, it keeps any wild boar out that I have a problem with at my lakeside town, because they always seem to get inside of my fence or my town area and attack me. And they don't really attack my people that live there, but they will harass me and chase me around, and if I'm not paying attention, they will take me down. So that's our objective right now, is start working on this fence line. And I'll be silent until I have a comment that I want to make on something. Okay, so just something I wanted to point out. I do want to put some light sources down here, so when the sun goes down like it is now, at least I can see my village from far away in case I, lose track of where I am. And you can pretty much see firelight from very far away. So that's always a good thing, is have plenty of lights down. Just get the materials you need to build the light pots or whatever you want to have, and start popping those down around the edge of your town. Okay, so that's going to be the theme that I'm going to use. I'm going to pop a gate down, then I'm going to put two torches or fire pits, whatever they're called, the lights down, so that at least I can see where my different interests are for the town. So as you can see, the building menu is very large. There's plenty of items that you can build and construct in this game. So you have to navigate through a lot of different mini menus just to find the item that you're trying to build. It's not really clear to me what side is front, what side is back, so you just kind of got to eyeball it in the case of this fence, and then try to put it down in a straight line as much as you can. So that's what I'm going to be doing here in the next couple scenes. Okay, now that we got our town completely surrounded with the bamboo fence, we can go ahead and just do any kind of last checks to see where else we need some items, what other, whether it's food, maintenance, lumber, building materials, heating, what we need to fill out stock wise. Now, also, as you can see, when I was putting the fence line down, it's really hard to get everything to snap perfectly together because I am on an incline going down into the river, so things don't line up as nice as you would hope. So you just kind of got to do the best you can to at least get some kind of coverage, even if it's some overlap. As you can see, I used up a ton of bamboo, but I still have a lot left. So what I want to do is make some space in my wood storage, and the best way to do that is take some logs out, which take 1 square each, and start converting those into planks, which you can stack to a nice decent pile, and not take up as much space with logs. I also made sure to leave a lot of space within my fence walls for me to start building farms when it comes time to do that, to put some plots of farm down. So you just kind of got to plan ahead and make sure that you're building to what you want to put down in the future. Okay, we're gonna put down a bunch of lights here. It's not gonna be perfect, but I do want this town to be nice and bright, especially when I'm out farming or hunting. At least I can see my town from far away. So one way to do that is to really lay down a lot of torches, a lot of lamps, so that you can always find what direction to run in when you're trying to get back to town. So you're gonna see me putting a lot of lights down here. I think this also improves like the happiness of the town, so that or the village, so they're not walking around in the dark. So I have plenty of resources to burn, so I'm gonna go ahead and use those up on making sure my lighting is good here in town. And I also want to keep making firewood too, because that's important. Having that firewood in your town inventory is important for the heating, but you also need that firewood to craft these torches as well, along with iron. And iron you'll be able to find in caves that's all throughout this map here. They look just like the stone piles, except they're just a different color and different shape. So now this is just going to be a little bit of cleanup. I want to get rid of all the shrubbery that I find inside the fence line. And I want to make sure I clear a path. Now the stumps can either be chopped, but eventually you'll be able to, if you go to your wood area, you can make a wooden shovel. Eventually you'll be able to make a metal one. You can also remove stumps that way with a wood shovel. So for now, I'm just going to clear this area out because I may want to put some farm plots down in the next couple videos and try to see how the farming update works in this game. So I'm going to give myself plenty of room to put the plots down. But that means we can't have any objects blocking putting the plots down. Okay, so now that we sped through that cleanup part, we picked up a bunch of stones, a bunch of twigs, broke up some lumber. I think this is a good stopping point for the video, and when we continue next time, we'll continue to build up this town, put some farm plots down, and go from there. So as always, I'd like to thank you for watching my videos. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.